Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How you doing? This is Coach Carvel Bailey, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Coach Carvel Bailey's Lunch and Learn. All right, we're gonna get into it today. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about intentions, right? We're gonna talk about intentions. I want to help you. I want to help you be more intentional, be able to help your athlete as you go about this journey. All right. So let's kick it off here, and then we'll get back to our program. All right. Peace.
And so every parent wants their kid to play AAU, or not AAU, but Division One basketball. But with Division One basketball, it's a high level of discipline, it's a high level of accountability, and it's a whole great level of self-respect. Because again, if your name is under that tick on ESPN, not only you're embarrassing yourself, you're embarrassing your parents, you're embarrassing the coach, and now the coach gonna get fired. He may not get another job, can't take care of his family, but another coach that's just worried about winning basketball games might come get you. But you're going to go through that same thing again. So what I talk to parents and players about is developing here mentally. Because the game is really more about your mental capacity than your physical, development. You can jump high, but can you read a screen that's coming? Can you run a play?
Man, no doubt, no doubt. 1 2 1 2.
All right, good afternoon. Good afternoon again. My name is Coach Carvel Bailey. I want to welcome you to another episode of Coach Carvel Bailey's Lunch and Learn. So today, well, first of all, I hope that everybody's doing okay. Let me know what city and state you're checking in from. Let me know what city and state you are checking in from. We finally got a little heat. We finally got a little heat here in Chicagoland today. So not a little heat. It's been hot. Right? It's been hot. But let me know what city and state that you're checking in from. Don't just sit behind the screen, dormant and quiet. All right. Let's interact. Let's engage. And let me help you today. So today I wanted to come on here and I wanted to talk about intentions. So I get a lot of people just spamming me, right? Let's just say spamming me, and they sending me, right? Send videos, send highlights. I may get huddle links. It can be crazy, right? It can be crazy, and I have to decide, or I have to decode, why am I getting this? Now, I shouldn't have to decode why am I getting this. And if I'm decoding it, right, even though what I do, right, at Who's Master University, we help middle school and high school guards develop the tools that they need to improve their confidence, their basketball IQ, their skill development, their exposure, ultimately making them more recruitment ready. So I get inboxes all the time, but I don't know the intention. So I want to talk intention today, right? Let's kind of go through some rules of engagement, right? Does anybody remember the Sam Jackson movie, right? Rules of engagement. And it just talks about how the SWAT team and right the military, the police, how they have certain rules before they can engage. And it's the same thing with parents, right? What are the rules of engagement? You shouldn't just, right? It's the same way dating, right? A young man is not going to go right up to a young lady and say, marry me, right? And the young lady is probably definitely not going to go right up to a young guy and say, hey, marry me. That's not going to happen. It's going to be some courting, going to be some dating, going to be some getting to know one another, but there's always rules of engagement. And so intentions, what's the intentions? I want for you and your athlete to be a little bit more intentional. All right. Let me get my ticker down there, right? Be more intentional along this journey. So let's go through it, right? I got 5 P's today because they say proper preparation prevents poor performance, right? Those 5 P's. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Well, let's stay right there, right? But let's go with purpose. What is the purpose of your interaction, right? That means what's the purpose of you signing your athlete up for a team, you signing your athlete up for a class, you taking your athlete somewhere? What's the purpose of your athlete plan, right? What's the purpose? What's the intention, right? If you're getting on this team If you're going to this tournament, what's the intention before you get in the car, before you sign your money, right? Even like clients in our program, I set the intention for our discovery calls right away in the door so that there can be no miscommunication, right? This is the intention for the call. This is what I'm looking to do. This is what I hope you're looking to do. If it's a good fit, then we can talk about moving forward. But what's the intention, right? What's the purpose of you sending coaches film? If you're emailing coaches, if you're at tournaments, right, and coaches are there, what's the intention? What's the purpose? What do you want to gain from it? What's the purpose? That's the first thing. The second thing is what's the plan, right? You may have a purpose, right? Your purpose is to get more exposure for your athlete. Well, what's the plan? Is your plan just going from city to city, to gym to gym, to tournament, right? Or do you have a plan on how you're going to get that exposure? Because exposure isn't just somebody putting their eyes on your athlete. Exposure is also you and your athlete garnering a new experience. Does that make sense? Right? So what's the plan? What plan do you have? And at Hoops Mastery, right, we help our athletes devise a plan, right? We help them, and it starts with our discovery call. With our discovery call, we come up with a plan. That's why if you haven't booked a discovery call with me and my team yet, then you're losing, right? I wouldn't say it like that, but if you haven't booked a call yet, you're losing, because you're going to get a plan right there on that call on what I feel is best based on our conversation, me, you, your spouse, and your athlete. What's the plan? How can we put this plan in place, right? Here's the plan now. How can we implement it, right? So what's the plan? Does your athlete have a plan? We're talking about being more intentional along this process. Now, the third P is procedure, right? Again, we talk about the rules of engagement. Well, there are procedures. There are procedures. It's procedures in contacting coaches. It's procedures when you go to showcase events, right? It's procedures now, like in June, here, June 2023, where when athletes are back with their high schools, right? There are procedures when you meet with the coach, when you get the chance to interact with a coach, when you go to a team camp, when you go to an individual camp, a skill development camp, right? When you go to a AAU club travel team tournament, there are procedures in place to make sure everything goes smooth and make sure that no one is confused. So there are procedures. So we have a purpose. What's the purpose? We're talking about being intentional, right? I get coaches sending me film all the time. Well, not. I'm serious. I'm sorry, not coaches. I get coaches sending me film too, right? And I'm like, Coach, do you want me to scout this team for you? You want me to evaluate some of your players, look at some of your plays, look at some of your ATOs, some of your slides, blogs. What do you want me to do with this, right? Look at a player, help you, right? I don't know the purpose. Same way, if your athlete is corresponding with a coach, what's the purpose? Then do they have a plan? Now, what's the procedure, right? Now, here's four and five. Here's 4 and 5, all right? From this interaction, from this activity, you want to be able to make daily progress. So what progress are you making? You have to be intentional that this is going to, whatever the activity is, planning a tournament, having a trainer, being in Hoops Mastery, right? Playing on a high school team, whatever it may be, you have to be certain that this process is going to get you closer to the goal. This process is going to get your athlete closer to the goal. My clients understand that the process, our 6-month, is a process. That's why our program is 6 months, right? We do have an intensive where we go 3 months, right? And then we have a slower intensive, right? That we're just getting started, right, with this cohort, but we have a 6-week cohort for the younger people, right? Slower, but we don't give everything, right? But we're going through a process, because what they learn on day one, that will carry them all the way beyond after the program is over. But what we learn on day one, we're going to pick up on day 2 based on what we learned day 1. We're going to pick up on month 2 based on the things we learned in month 1. So everything is a process. So what process, right, is the intention, is the activity helping you and your athlete get closer to the goal based on going through that process? Does that make sense? right? And then the fifth thing, right? Perspective. What's the perspective, right? You have to look at it from a different perspective. Sometimes you have to look at things from the coach's perspective. Sometimes you have to look at things from the official's perspective. Sometimes you have to look at things from the tournament director's perspective, right? Parents hoop and holler all the time at officials, at tournament directors, at coaches and everything, but oftentimes they're not looking at it from the other person's perspective. A lot of times, if you want to know things a little bit more clear, look at things from the other person's perspective, and then that can probably help you out. Oh, before I forget, is it anybody in Arizona? Do I have any of my Arizona folks here? Any of my Arizona folks? I'm thinking about doing a special pop-up in Arizona on July 3rd. Let me know if I got any Arizona people, right? We're gonna do something real nice and smooth and intimate, right? We're only gonna take about 20 people max, and we're gonna really do something special for those 20 people in this pop-up. All right, so if you're from Arizona, you want to be a part, just hit me up. I can get your information and I can see if this is the best thing for your athlete. All right, so we got purpose, right? What's the purpose of the interaction? What's the plan? What's the procedure? Is this helping you make progress? And then what's the perspective that you're looking at it from, right? Finally, here's the bonus. All else fails. All else fails. You're like, Coach gave me a lot. All else fails. Wipe all them out the way and just think about this. What's the point? What's the point? What's the point of the interaction? What's the point of contacting the coach? What's the point of going in the gym? What's the point of playing in this tournament? What's the point of being in this team? What's the point of buying this arm sleeve? What's the point of buying these knee braces? What's the point? What's the point? And when you understand what the point is based on the goal, now you can start with the ending in mind and you can work backwards. And once you start with the ending in mind, which is the cheat code, start with the ending in mind and work backwards. So what's the goal? What's the goal? That's the goal. Okay, now what's my activity to get to the goal? What's the point of the activity? Is it getting me closer to the goal? If it is, go with it. If it's not, let's step back and let's pivot and let's make adjustments. All right. I hope this helped y'all today. I hope this helped. All right. We also have our skill camp 2, right? Our skill camp 2 starting July 11th. Starting July 11th, we got our skill camp 2. So y'all make sure that y'all reach out to us if y'all need any of our help. All right. And from there, we are gone. Peace.
Yo, just so you understand it, this is Coach Carvel Bailey's program with the spirit of Bob Hambry. This is Blessed to Ball, helping athletes, and we represent. Study your craft, your mentality leads to excellence. It's all about your mindset. We'll never stop addressing this, so be positive and not a pessimist. Confidence took James Harden higher. If you really want it, it ain't gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard as carbon fiber, but we got you. From counseling to workshops, we do it. You'll go farther with a scholarship. We'll help you get recruited. Yo, anyone can dribble and shoot, but it's the ones who study basketball internally that make it to Duke University. Knowledge goes around. The game is played from the neck up and not from the shoulders down. This is Blessed to Ball, helping you with obstacles. The athletes are the rocket. Blessed to Ball is the rocket fuel. If you hit a wall, we can help you slowly climb it. So keep a Mamba mentality like Kobe Bryant. Blessed to Ball. Cherish the opportunities that you have. Blessed to Ball. Use your mentality to master the craft. Blessed to Ball. Come join our team, it's a new day. Follow our steps and watch how much better you play. Blessed to Ball. Cherish the opportunities that you have. Blessed to Ball. Use your mentality to master the craft. Blessed to Ball. Come join our team, it's a new day. Follow our steps and watch how much better you play. Yo, Coach Carvel Bailey. Hey, listen to your coach, man. He ain't no scrub off the street. That man got credentials, academic and street. Believe it. And my name is strategic.